Hi, my name is Jeni Kmic. I'm a junior public relations major, marketing minor at Ohio Northern University. On May 5th, 2008, I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, a cancer of your lymph nodes and immune system. It all started when I found a lump in my throat right around here. My mom wasn't really sure what it was. I wasn't really sure what it was, so she sent me to the doctor. I started going in for multiple blood tests, different kinds of thyroid uptakes, different things to try to figure out what was going on. The only thing that was showing was that I was a little anemic. So I just continued to go to school, go about my business as usual. Meanwhile, one Thursday actually, I was at school and had a terrible pain in my chest. I couldn't get comfortable. I couldn't sit, stand, no matter what I did. I was in excruciating pain. I tried going to track practice and that wasn't going well, and even previous track practices I couldn't keep up, and I wasn't really sure what was going on. It was just odd for me that I was having so much trouble. So that Thursday when I was having the bad chest pain, my parents took me to the emergency room. I had CT scans from my waist up, and then they sent me back for more from my waist down. The doctors didn't really say much, didn't really say what was wrong, why I was having this pain. They just told my parents that I needed to go see an oncologist on Monday. So that weekend, of course, my parents were having mini heart attacks, and my mom wasn't too pleased with me when I was watching Mystery Diagnosis all weekend, but I thought it was interesting. Come to find out, most people ended up having cancer. So Monday, I went into the oncologist and I met with what would become my new family for the next, well, that summer actually. Monday, I had a bunch of tests. Tuesday, I went in for surgery, and the surgery consisted of the biopsy of the lump in my throat. They put my port in, which I would then get my chemo through, and they took a sample of bone marrow from my pelvis to make sure that I didn't have cancer in my bones yet. Tuesday I had surgery. Wednesday, I had a much needed break. Thursday and Friday, I had more tests. Friday was the day that I would be diagnosed, and my treatment, the doctors would tell me my treatment plan. All along this whole week, the doctors were telling me to hope that it was, if it had to be cancer, to hope that it would be Hodgkin's lymphoma because that's the easiest to cure. It has a 90% cure rate. So all along, we were hoping that it was Hodgkin's. So Friday, they told me that I did have Hodgkin's lymphoma, that I would be going through chemo, I would need possible radiation. They asked if I wanted to be part of a study, the study that tries to find out a good balance between chemo and radiation, whether if you would need chemo or radiation at all after you chemo, or just different types of treatment that is possible. So of course I said yes, I would love to do anything that helps. If my treatment can help another kid, then why not? So Monday I started chemo. So in a whole week I was diagnosed and started chemo. I was treated for 4 rounds, and one round would consist of a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday being an 8-hour day, Tuesday being a 6-hour day, Thursday a 4-hour day, and then the following Monday would be a 2-hour day, all of chemo. And then I had the rest of the week off, and I would start back on Monday. So that's one round, and I had 4 of those. After 2 rounds, I went back for another test to see if I was responding well to the chemo. As part of the study, I had to do this. So after my 2 rounds of chemo, it turns out that I was a complete responder. Although I was a complete responder, I still had to go to the radiation doctor to get, have them meet me and have a few tests done and stuff like that. And I was done with chemo, or I wanted to be done with chemo, I should say. I was done having cancer. I was done with it all. So I was remaining positive, hoping that I wouldn't have to have cancer, and keeping a positive mindset, saying, no, I will be a complete responder and I'll be fine and I won't need radiation. So this is one of my favorite examples of how having a positive attitude really can help propel you forward in anything in life. I went to the radiation doctor, and I met him, and he was a nice guy, and it was fine. The appointment went great, and at the end of the day, he said, "All right, well, I'll see you later, I guess, and I look forward to seeing you." And I was like, "No, you won't see him anymore. I won't need radiation." And he kind of looked at me funny and said, "Okay." And come to find out, I never did see that radiation doctor again. So if you're watching this now, hey, how are you? Sorry I didn't come back to see you. Throughout my treatment, I tried to remain a normal kid. I went to volleyball practice, basketball camps. I hung out with my friends. I did everything a normal kid would do, except I went to the hospital a lot and I didn't have any hair. Losing my hair was probably one of the most difficult things I've ever done in my life. Not necessarily having cancer. Yeah, it was bad, but losing my hair was 100 times worse. Throughout my cancer experience, I didn't really cry. I understood what was happening, and I understood what needed to be done, and that was fine, and I was ready to do it. But losing my hair was a difficult day. My hair started to fall out. Like, while I would be sleeping, I would notice a clump on my pillow or something like that. So that, when I found that kind of really hurt me a little. And so finally we decided that it was time for me to go to my hairstylist and get a shorter haircut. So we went to my hairstylist and we told her to just cut it all off. And my doctor suggested that I kind of get a short, stylish haircut to keep me thinking that I was a normal kid still or whatnot. But so she gave me a haircut, and I remember her spinning me around in the chair and seeing my face in the mirror, and I just instantly started bawling. And everyone, my mom was crying, she was crying, everyone there was crying. It was really an emotional day, and I feel really bad for anybody in the salon because they probably weren't expecting that. But so I hated my haircut. I was super embarrassed. I didn't want to leave my house. I said I wasn't going out in public anymore and all of that stuff. And well, I found out that was kind of silly. It was graduation season, so of course I had graduation parties to go to and people to see. So the next day I told my mom just to buzz it off. I mean, if I have cancer, I have cancer. I'm not going to hide it. Everyone knows it. So who cares if I'm bald? So we buzzed it off, and I felt 10 times better. I would much rather be bald than have a really short haircut, and I don't know. I just felt better bald. And so the bald thing kind of caught on, and my dad let me shave his head, and a family friend let me shave his head. So it became a little head shaving party, I guess you could say. Underneath my hair, come to find out, I found a strong, beautiful, and happy person. And I guess I kind of thought of my hair as a security blanket, and shaving my head kind of freed me from that. So who would have thought that being bald and having to shave your head would be a little bit of a blessing? And I never had a bad hair day, which was also nice. I rolled out of bed and was ready to go. On July 22nd, I'm happy to say, was my last day of chemo. Just a short 2-3 months later, I was done, and I didn't have to have radiation ever. That day was an extremely happy day for myself and my family, and everyone at the doctor's office. I had become extremely close with my doctors, nurses, everyone there, and we threw a little party. We had party hats and food, and it was a great celebration. I don't mind talking about my cancer experience, and I really think it's a positive thing to talk about, and I'm not shy about talking about it. I'm not afraid to talk about it, and I don't think it's an awkward thing to talk about. I actually enjoy educating people about what it's really like and clearing up some misconceptions, some myths, things like that. I know my experience was not as bad as some of the 5-year-olds I was sitting next to while getting chemo, and I really like to help out with Relay and get involved with cancer and cancer research because I really felt for those kids. I don't necessarily think about myself, but I think about the 3-year-olds, the 5-year-olds, the 6-year-olds who were in there and had no idea what was going on and had to be there and for longer amounts of time and sometimes didn't make it. although cancer is a very difficult time for me, it's a difficult time for my family. It is. It can be done. It can be beat, and with a positive attitude and strong family and friend base, it is possible. It can be done. And although cancer was difficult for me, I am thankful for all the people it brought into my life, all of the things it taught me, and how much closer I became with my family and friends.